speaking with Nate McCallister. He was actually one of my very first coaches, and he's going to be coming to our live event this March in Orlando, Florida. And he has the both worlds really. Facebook group growth. He's his group grew over 50,000 members, and then also the simple software Chrome extension, software world, and he's done over $1 million with his Chrome extension. So I figured Nate would be perfect to come to the event and do a workshop at the event itself. We have a lot of people coming already who are current clients. So today I'm going to be diving into Nate's story. We are going to have this be an interview / kind of like training, answering your questions if you guys have questions about either group growth or simple software. So, all right, before we get into that, let's rewind back and kind of tell us, Nate, how did you get into this world of where you were into having this enormous Facebook group and then leveraging that Facebook group to have, you know, the life that you have now? And in what way did it contribute to that as well? Because I know you have a blog for a very long time as well.
Yeah, so I went to college like you're supposed to, you know, and I was in college for like 7 years. I got my degrees, and right when I finished that, I had a job lined up at a like a military fabric company. We did like Kevlar stuff for the U.S. military, and I just hated it so much. And I felt like I was like, this. If I hate it now when I'm 24, I'm gonna despise it when I'm older. So it's not gonna get better. So I started. Every chance I got, I just started like binge listening to, oddly enough, the first person in like the finance space I really listened to was Dave Ramsey, which is ironic because like I literally am the polar opposite of all of Dave Ramsey things now. But I just was obsessed with like trying to find ways to make money on your own, even though that's not his thing. But I was just really binging on that stuff. And I started to follow guys like Pat Flynn, from Smart Passive Income. And I started to feel like, if all these other people are able to do this, I'm reasonably smart. I can figure it out. And also I had the benefit of like being obsessed with it. I just absolutely was obsessed with the idea of it and, creating my own thing. Right. So I got pretty lucky. I think a lot of people get lucky with entrepreneurship where like the first thing they try works pretty well. Because I don't think that most people's first thing ever works out. I think it's like probably maybe 5% of people's businesses like that they first start out actually work. So for me, I started flipping stuff on Amazon. So I sold a copy of the 5-Hour Workweek. Yeah.
Tim Ferriss.
Yeah, because I had 2 copies. That book, obviously, you have to have at least 1 copy, but I had 2. So I was like, oh, I'll sell this one because I knew it was super popular on Amazon. So did I say 5 hours? It's 4-hour work week, right?
It's 4 hours.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, does I have some knockoff version?
We both didn't catch that. You got the bootleg 5 hours.
So what is this book? By Tim Ferriss. No, so I sold that, and it sold immediately. And I didn't know what I was doing, but I sold it via what was called like merchant fulfillment. So it's basically that's essentially eBay, the same process. You package it and you ship it. So I made probably like 25 cents when you added it all up. And then I did all like, and it was a ton of work. If you divided the time, like my hourly rate was probably like 4 cents an hour, but it was so like changing for me. Cause I was like, holy crap, that sold. It all dawned on me, like, when something, but something like triggers you and you're just reminded by it. I was like, holy crap, the world is full of a lot of people that are buying stuff. I put this book on there. It's not my book or anything, but I put this book on there and it sold immediately. I'm like, holy crap, I could do that, and I could figure out how to do it better and do it at scale. So we started to do that at scale. We started to do retail arbitrage. which was like driving around. So we drive around like Tennessee and Georgia and Alabama and Florida. And we just started going to like Kroger's and just clearing the shelves out of, at the time, it was, our big thing was the frozen Elsa dolls. They didn't have those at Kroger, yeah, but Elsa dolls were crazy. Like you buy them for $15 and sell them for like $100. And then Nicorette lozenges. So Nicorette lozenges went out, and we were turning those, and we were just making a ton of money flipping these things. And I'm the type of person where like it's like a good thing and a bad thing, but I'm kind of like that person that has to tell people everything. Like if I eat at an awesome restaurant, like I'm going to tell you about it. Or if I saw an awesome TV show, like everyone's gonna know that I saw an awesome TV show. So for me, you know, I feel like in you know, in life, when you're sharing stuff with people, it's hard to fix people's problems, like serious problems, like your marriage or stuff like that. Like that's too heavy for me to ever really fix. But teaching people how to make money, I'm like, holy crap! If I can do this, I can show other people how to do it. At the very least, I can talk about it and you know, have fun doing it and learn it more in the process of blogging about it. And so I started blogging about the retail arbitrage stuff.
Yeah, and before you continue, I'm going to interrupt you now and then to just say hi to everyone. Hey, Michael. Hey, Robin. Hey, Bill. If you are just jumping in, you guys, smash that heart button. And then also, did you guys know that Elsa dolls you could flip? You could buy for $15 and flip it for $100. Did you guys know that? Type 1 in the comments if you're like, oh yeah, I was fully aware of that era. And then type 2 if you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about, Kim. You just dated yourself. Or
Elsa dolls were hot.
Elsa dolls were hot once upon a time. So let me know, you guys, in the comments. Yeah, Michael's like, no, I have no idea. And also, was your first business like the one that hits for you guys, or did you try like 17 businesses or 15 businesses before that thing actually works? For me, I remember I did a butterfly release company. I think I tried like 9 different businesses until I did try drop shipping as well, and the margins were so horrible. But that was like a gateway drug that enabled me to go, oh, I can actually make money online, like they say. You know, it's online and you're making money. So Robin says no. All right, okay, continue, Nate. I'm gonna interrupt you now and then to make this interactive with the audience.
No, for sure. So I started, you know, blogging about the process, and then somehow it happened where I had somebody knew that I was like an Amazon blogger. So I was new, but I think just the fact that when you have like a blog, I think people immediately overestimate your knowledge of something. So, and I wasn't trying to like pretend like I knew everything. I was really just documenting my process. But someone reached out to me and they were like, hey, I know you know Amazon pretty well. I was like, do you know that? Because I don't know that. I was like, what? Okay, well, how can I help you? And they're like, well, my Amazon account got suspended. Can you help me write my appeal letter to Amazon? So I did that for him, and they were able to get back. And then I started doing that. He recommended me to other people, and we started doing that as a service. So then I had the physical product business and then the service side business. And then we started doing something called ungating, which was like helping people get ungated in Amazon to sell in other categories. So I started to build these multiple income streams, and it was just like this really great, really lucky sequence of, you know, I just was in the right business at the right time. And I just kind of, it all happened. And I think just the fact that I was super obsessed with it is that I didn't miss the opportunity, because I was like, it would have been hard for me to miss it if it was there, because I was obsessed. So then I kind of met up with Chris Green. I did a book review of his. He sent me a copy of his book. He's one of the few people on Amazon that will sell a book. His first book that he wrote was $300, which is like very gutsy thing to do. And it was about this process of basically what I was doing with retail arbitrage, but with online arbitrage, people buying from stores online, like Target.com, selling it on Amazon at a profit, kind of like
Walmart.
Similar to drop shipping, but much cleaner, better margins, way better. So he did that book, and he sent me a free copy, which at the time I was like, holy crap, $300 book. I'm like the luckiest boy in the world. And I thought that was like the coolest thing ever. And then so immediately he's got like my lifelong, like, how close I am with Chris. He and I still do stuff together.
Yeah.
And he tells people all the time, he's like, your book is like the world's greatest business card. Like if you have a book, you give it to somebody, it's like the world's greatest business card. So he gave me that, and I did a review of it. And then the blog started to get traffic. I started to make money. I learned about affiliate marketing, started to make money with affiliate stuff. And then it kind of scaled to the point where I was like, well, I'm selling other people's stuff and it's doing pretty well, but there's some softwares that I know other people that I would like, that don't exist, and I could keep all of the money if I make it myself. So we had those built, and they were Chrome extensions. I read a book called, what was it called? I have it right here. Getting Real.
Yeah.
It's a really small little book, but it's from the guys who made the book, or who made the software BaseCamp.
Oh, shit. I know BaseCamp. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you've ever used BaseCamp, you've probably noticed how like there's not a lot to it. It's very lean. And they talk about how with their softwares, they're like, we found that, it's kind of like a museum. Like a museum is awesome, not because of what all of the things that are in it. It's because of the fact that not very much stuff is in it, right? Only great things are in the museum. So with the software, they were basically saying we only want to have the best features. Anything else, even if the other features are valuable, having something that's lean will mean fewer bugs. It'll be easier to sell and explain. It's just an easier, nicer process.
I subscribe to that philosophy too. QuickLinkConvert has not have many features.
And that's how it should be. I mean, you get people that message you all the time, and I think the worst way to compete is to compete by trying to do everything. Like I know a couple of people, there was this one guy, I hope he's not watching. I doubt he's watching, but he was creating a software called the One App, and it was like an Amazon software that does everything. Like it's supposed to do all of the different things that Amazon does, but we kind of jokingly call it the None App because it never was able to launch because it was too many features. And you don't need to, I tell people all the time, like you don't need to make the next Facebook to make a good amount of money doing your thing, especially if you haven't made a dime yet. I think everybody kind of gets caught up in like the romance of like the startup, Silicon Valley type stuff, but it's so much more realistic and I can't say just as gratifying because I haven't made Facebook, but I can't imagine that it's too much more gratifying to make a software that's massive and does all these different things. So with Chrome extensions, that was my philosophy, was keep it simple, make it easy to use, easy to understand, few features, but make the features something that are very specific, help a certain niche of people, and it just makes it really easy to sell. And then my growth hack was to my group helped because my softwares were related to Amazon. That and then affiliate programs. People ask me all the time, like, well, I have this idea for a software, but I don't have an audience. I'm like, well, you don't need an audience. You just need the ear of someone who has an audience, and then create an affiliate program that's like really solid. And that's like the ultimate software growth hack. Are the people in here mostly software folks?
They're mostly Facebook group people. And then, I've been growing this audience. So it's like software people, but also Facebook group. More
Facebook groupies, software groupies. Cool.
Yeah.
So that's my philosophy on software. Check out that book. I don't know if it's kind of hard to get. I don't think they really wrote it like intending for it to be very popular.
I checked out his other book. He has I think he published several books, and his philosophy is I would rather serve the masses because there's so many millions of them than go and serve the few niche, like specific expert people. And it was like one of his mantras. He wrote another book. He also is really good with outsourcing, hiring and stuff.
Yeah, this is his other. This is his other book. Remote.
Yeah, that one. That was the one.
Jason Fry. Yeah, he's awesome. That book is basically about running Running a virtual team. Yeah, good stuff. He's one of the people that I probably, a lot of the stuff I say, I probably learned from him.
Yeah, and Nate, like Cecilia, she got into our world through our coaching program. And what I've been doing, just so you know, I've been cultivating coaches, having them have immense cash flow by having them pitch into their Facebook group, and then saying, you know, just don't be just another coach to get on this client's wheel. Why don't you build also something iconic, or at least have like own a solution that sits online? So I transitioned coaches into software CEOs in a very simple way with these little Chrome extension things. So Cecilia, she got into our world, got 10K in under 20 days.
Ooh, nice.
Then became a Chrome extension owner, and she published a Chrome extension that lets you bulk tag people on lives. So there's a whole world about, you know, tagging people when you go live on Facebook, and her Chrome extension just lets you do that in bulk. And it's
I love that.
A specific problem.
Yeah, that's so good. It's fun. I mean, people overthink it, I think, a lot of the time. And honestly, I think it pays to be like pessimistic in the software world. Like, if you find something that annoys you, like, why that annoys me, let's just make it, you know. And something as simple as tagging people. Like, if you ever find yourself typing something or doing something, clicking your mouse a lot, usually there's a software you could build that would make money. I think all the softwares that I make essentially they serve a bigger purpose, but they just save you time and clicks and typing.
Yeah.
I think most softwares, really, if you break it down, come down to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, there's 12 of you watching. Let me know. Hashtag I'm alive if you guys are getting value from this interview, and smash the heart button. I want to make sure that what we discussed about today, that you interact with us, ask us questions. One of the things that I think for you, Nate, and maybe it's the way that you think, you're like, oh, I can own that solution, right? I can just, the way that your demeanor about it, a lot of people don't really think that way. They will overthink it. And so for those of you who are listening, if you can get away this thing where the pathway, the chasm that you think that's in your head between you owning a software solution or you having a Facebook group that works for you, for the people who are in it, the chasm is pretty small. It's like a little jump because you can own software for a couple $100, maybe a couple thousand, and then really earn such financial income from it if all you did was get a subscriber every single day or every single month. Yeah. So
I mean, just go to the Chrome store and look at some of the extensions on there. It's like 1 million users. Like, holy crap! Like, it's an underserved market, and there's tons of different ideas, especially in the marketing space. I think the MMO space has a huge bunch of potential. There's always new tools. I'm like usually the first one to buy them. Do you want me to kind of talk about the Facebook group and how that kind of started?
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, if you have Facebook group questions, let us know as well, because I know a lot of you guys always ask me, or you're all up into my DM saying, Kim, how do I revise a dead group? What about this and that? So if you have group questions, let me know as well. And Michael is like, help me create a software. I have an idea regarding group posts. All right, Michael, reach out to me about these Chrome extension ideas. But go ahead, Nate. How did a group go from zero? And here's the thing, it's a big deal because some groups exist for many years and they're still at like 1,000 people or less than a couple hundred. Yours went all the way to 50,000. That is insane. So what are the things that contributed to these growth, to the massive growth?
Yeah. So it is the group started as just like a member. I didn't know anything about Facebook groups when I started it. I'm really not sure why I even started it, but I wanted a place to keep all of my old customers. So I wanted to have an area where people who'd purchased one of the Amazon related services that I had, I wanted to keep them in a group because I didn't know anything about marketing, but I just knew for whatever reason that people who had paid in the past are good people to have. I think once you've been in marketing for a while, you know that your best future customers are your past customers. So my thought was, all right, I don't want to lose touch with these people because I don't have anything else really to sell. But when I do, I want them to know about it because I've worked with them. We had good experiences. They liked it. So I just need to do this. So I started to grow that. And then I ended up with I think eventually got to 1,000 paid clients that had paid me for various services. And then I was like, hey, you know what? People started asking stuff in the group about Amazon. And I was like, let's just open this up. Let's just make this an Amazon FBA group. So I kind of accidentally had created an advantage for myself because the people that spend money are the people that are serious. The people that spend money. So my group was the cream of the crop, as far as that went. It was people who had paid money. They were people that were serious enough about Amazon that they would spend, even if you just spend $1. Think about how many people in whatever the niche is that don't spend a dime because they're not serious. And if they're not serious enough to spend $1, they're probably not going to contribute in a meaningful way to the group. So this group of people were awesome. They were super. Then some of them are still in the group, and it's been 6 years, and they're still contributing. And that really, I think, helped me in the algorithm with Facebook. I think they saw that the group was highly engaged. And then I just kind of slowly but surely, a lot of people are like, did you run paid ads or did you use some service to buy group followers? I was like, no, that's terrible. There's no point. I don't know. I've always wondered why anyone would ever do that. Cause it's you have 10,000 people that are all fake followers are not going to buy from you or anything. The engagement's going to tank and you're not going to get any organic reach. But what we did was we just had good content and we kept it engaged. I made sure that no posts were left unanswered, even if they were really, comments type of thing that you would just Google. I just want to make sure that everyone knew that if you engaged here, you were going to, I appreciate that. So we're going to make sure that you don't get ignored. So we did that and, the group just really grew. And then I started, mentioning the group on my blog. I started mentioning the group whenever I had a chance. And then it just consistency. And, my big regret was that there was no way to collect emails when I first started the group. And that's seriously my number one source of, well, not number one anymore, but my number two source of email leads every day. It's 50 email subscribers every day come from the Facebook group, which is nuts. And that was something that I wish I had earlier was the something like QuickLinkConvert to actually turn my group followers into email subscribers. So, but yeah, that's kind of where it went. We didn't do anything crazy. We didn't have a consistent schedule, which I would recommend other people do. I would say, have a live planned every Tuesday or something, make it fun, do contests, do giveaways, really work hard to stand out. And because there's so many Facebook groups. There were a lot when I started, but there's so many now. It's some of it, you have to be good for people to spend any time in your group. So that's what I would recommend people do is, it's hard to grow a group, but I would just make sure that you were giving people a reason to come. And if I were doing that starting from scratch, my big thing would be doing lives and doing fun things like contests, giveaways, raffles, stuff like that.
Yeah, Michael's so many jump Facebook groups. That's so true.
Especially in the affiliate marketing space. Every affiliate marketing group, I swear to God, there's two good affiliate marketing groups.
Well, Glenn is commenting. Hey, Glenn is give us the secret sauce. I had the same problem. Glenn, actually, has been a shift in the algorithm for Facebook groups, where in October 2020, Facebook decided hashtags are important, finally, or for the first time. And so his group was stuck at around 168 people for many years, I think 6 years, where he didn't engage. He didn't really care about it. But what he did right was he SEO'd it a certain way, even though it was dead for a long time. And then the algorithm changed for Facebook and he started growing at a rate of 30,000 new members a month, organic. Awesome. And then his engagement went up to like 80-90% engagement. So it wasn't like people who came into his group and didn't engage. It was like highly engaged, active members all of a sudden overnight.
Right.
Because the post that he fed into it on a very automated level from using these posting softwares included the right hashtags for the search engine to hit.
Nice.
And so that is something.
Were you doing it like posting to like using like a code schedule or a buffer, and then you had the hashtags because they were relevant for like Twitter or Instagram, and then they just also posted them on Facebook groups?
Oh, no, it was like using social bee and using the right hashtags and then looking for popular blog posts and then pulling information from RSS feeds that would utilize like the right hashtags with the popular topic and then putting that inside of the group.
Oh,
it's
cool.
a little bit more, I just said it in a very like one line way. There's like more stuff in it, but the gist is that if you have a group, it can go from this to this overnight because of setting up your group the right way with the right keywords and the right hashtags. Just like how some hashtags on Instagram trend and then, the post gets more because you include hashtags in the post. It's very similar now to Facebook group posts and communities. So
see, now I'm in here learning something. I thought I was going to be in here. That's cool. I haven't used any hashtag. I use CoSchedule to schedule out every week. I schedule out my automated social posts across my different channels, and I use hashtags. I use hashtags on like Twitter and LinkedIn, but I don't ever use them on Facebook groups. But I'm going to start doing that. Cool.
Yeah, and you can use Zapier also to schedule it out. Zapier or SocialBee, whichever one. If you have Zapier, it's better.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is something that I don't think a lot of people who aren't close to the Facebook group knowledge, because I am deep in that world, and you are more. You're not as deep into that world as me.
I just have a Facebook group. I'm not like Dr. Facebook.
So hey guys, hey Glenn, hey Michael. I love, Glenn, that you are giving us all these happy faces. If you guys are getting value from this interview, #value, and also smash that heart button, because the more put a 1 in the comments, the more interaction you have with this post, the more people will know that this interview is going on. And we have an actual live event that's coming up in Orlando, Florida, March 3rd to the 6th, where Nate is going to be there. And it's going to be a room filled with amazing Facebook group entrepreneurs doing around $50,000 to $100,000 months with their groups and software CEOs. So it's a really cool mix of people. And we're doing it in a workshop style environment. So you're actually there to get your laptop and really learn what's the truth, what's behind the scenes to all of this, in a way where I'll have information like this, hashtag stuff, where it's not like, oh, just, you just got to be consistent and just got to build. That is also something that you should do, but also tactics and tricks that will give you that slight edge when it comes to all these like growth hacks and growth stuff. Nate, since you're like, hey, I want to learn stuff from you. The hashtag trading. Yeah, Michael, just message us and we'll let you know where that's located. Hey, Bill is one, and Lisa's here too. Hey, Lisa, welcome everyone. Another thing that I've seen in the the Facebook group world is, oh man, I just like freaking blanked out this second. Jesus.
How many people are going to be in Orlando?
It's going to be, we're capping it at around 50, and most of the tickets are sold to clients. Most of them are clients. So it's a lot of people who already they invest in themselves and they actively want to learn this, and they also have their own audiences.
Nice.
One guy.
I'm gonna order 50 copies of the new book, and I'm gonna bring them.
Your best business card right there.
That's my business card. Yep.
That's
It's
awesome.
it's awesome how when you do them on Amazon, how affordable it is to just get like 1 billion of them sent to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like a couple bucks. That. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I have no idea.
I'm gonna bring like one of those T-shirt guns, but I'm gonna use the books.
Oh my gosh. So let's talk about the software part. So and here I say this all the time because I don't care who hears it. The cost of creating GroupConvert was $380, and when I created it, it took me zero skills in programming. I went on Upwork, I got it, and actually after I got it, I think was it before I hired you as a coach? I hired you to help me.
It's like right around the same time, I think.
Yeah, around the same time. I'm like, okay, I'm getting into Chrome extension, and I need an email sequence. I need to
I know. Something. Yeah, I know it hadn't taken off yet, but yeah, because I tried to take as much credit as possible for that. So. No, I didn't do anything with that. You did great.
You know what?
And one thing about
go ahead.
One thing about your software that I think everyone should pay attention to is it's not just the fact that it was easy to make. Like you can tell people it was negative $500. You could say somebody paid me $500 to have the software, but if you look it up, there are a bunch of other Facebook group email collecting extensions. A lot of people have made them, but yours is I think the most popular because you market it better. And that's really most of the battle, especially with Chrome extensions, because people don't natively go on the Chrome extension store. Like usually most people don't just browse on there like for different extensions. Usually you have to be like, hey, this is GroupConvert. This is what it does. And that software is an easy sell because it's just so tangible. Like if you have a Facebook group, you need this tool, or at least something like it. It's a no-brainer. But that's another thing a lot of people have. They're like, if it's so easy to make, well, what's going to stop somebody from just stealing it from me? It's like, well, you just have to market it better. you just have to be better at marketing it.
Well, also people don't do comparison shopping at that price point too.
Right.
So if someone's exposed to it, they're like, oh, I'm going to get it. Kind of like how, AppSumo can be kind of addicting. In terms of just like grabbing tools because it has such an instant gratification.
There's been at least 2 GroupConvert alternatives on AppSumo, which is funny. But I guarantee you nobody was shopping for one of those. They hadn't heard about GroupConvert. They just happened to have heard about whatever the AppSumo one was at the time.
Well, your competition also markets for you. So because of the awareness of it, we actually have people searching for our solution now on Google and finding GroupConvert through Google, just like Google. So we ask people, hey, how do you figure out about the software? And most of the time, there's also word of mouth, but apparently more and more people are searching for this solution.
Do you ever see an article from Social Media Examiner?
No.
That I wrote. I wrote an article about the process. It was before I knew about GroupConvert, and it was when Chris Green actually had one called Groups Ninja. Everyone, that's like the most cliche software is Software Ninja, but he had one, and it was when yours came out. He's like, no, I don't even. I'm just not going to compete. I don't want to deal with the software headaches on this because he was doing other stuff. But I linked to that in there, and I should message them and try to get GroupConvert in there. They usually don't edit it back, but if you look up turn your Facebook group into a lead generating machine or something like that, it'll pop up.
Really? We switched our ClickFunnels. We switched our affiliate program to now using First Promoter, so the affiliate thing is going to be like super.
I'm sorry,
easy.
But ClickFunnels for affiliates sucks.
Yeah, so we switched over to First Promoter. So we're taking the affiliate side a little bit more seriously now, and
I'm glad you're telling me that because I need a new link then.
Yeah, I'll give you a link. But yeah, like I am. The other day, I met a guy that's in real estate, and he's like, "Does QuickConvert collect location? Because location is important for real estate, and you can do that." So within a week, I'm like, "Oh, that's so smart. That's a feature that I will say, okay, let's add it." And we added it. We got him as a customer, but just like people are searching. It's just the awareness. People are searching to get stuff from groups now because Mark Zuckerberg has consistently shifted his focus to groups. Besides the metaverse, it's like the app, you know, the mobile app itself highlights.
Right.
Groups. So
yeah, I know when I started seeing commercials for Facebook groups, I was like, oh yeah, it's getting good. I mean, Facebook groups are awesome, man. Like I think people enjoy, I mean, as toxic as Facebook can be, and I'm not going to lie, if I didn't have a business, I would probably delete most of my social media. I tell myself that anyway. Or at least I would change a lot of the stuff I expose myself to. But people like it's just a very natural way of communicating online, and groups are just awesome. Like it's so great. They can bring people with similar interests together 24/7. It's just they're amazing. Better than Reddit. Like Reddit was like the solution for a while for getting people together, you know, over a niche, but it just doesn't have the media elements that you'd like to see. It doesn't have the, you know, it's just different. I think Facebook groups are here to stay for the long run.
Yeah, I've seen a movement in people who own software companies go and funnel their customers into a Facebook group as part of the thank you page. Like Jungle Scout is one of our subscribers. And I was just like, well, like I heard about you a long time ago, and now what the heck? So
yeah, they have a big Amazon group. That software is massive. That is a huge business.
Yeah,
they're like the ClickFunnels of e-commerce or physical product e-commerce. Software, like size wise.
Yeah, so like me with, you know, QuickConvert over here and seeing like Jungle Scout and all these other, like, you know, I don't know, like Alaric Heck, the guy who teaches YouTube. I don't know if you know or heard of him, but he teaches like YouTube for the past 7 years. He's a subscriber. So it feels like the world is big, but at the same time, like very small. And realizing that if you own a tool and it's possible that you think the world is big, but it's really small, and you can get more in contact with people than you realize because of this vehicle, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, Cheryl from New Zealand. Let's go. Hey, Michael. Hey, guys. If you are getting value from this interview, let me know in the comments. And also, if you've always wanted to have your own tool, have your own, you know, if you're excessively copying and pasting or clicking like crazy and you think, can this be a solution? Most of the time, because Chrome extensions, if you guys don't know what they are, they're like these little plugins that sit on the top right-hand corner most of the time of your Chrome browser. It will save clicks and save you time because it mimics your click strokes as one of the functions that it can do. So that's just part of the Chrome extension world. So usually when you're like, hey, can it do this? Most of the time, the answer is yeah, as long as it has access to the information.
Yeah. If you just find a big group of people that are consistently wasting a set amount of time on one thing, you can create a Chrome extension for them.
Hey, Nate, you know, I made a post in the Go High Level community. You know Go High Level? I don't know if you know Go High Level. Do you know Go High Level?
I don't know.
It's a software.
It's a software. Okay, no.
It's a software that has its own world.
I thought it was a
very hyper culty world. That in a good way. They're very all about it. But it's a CRM that is white labeled, and it's a lot of agencies. So the one thing that it lacked, and this is also something you guys should know, in bigger software or in any kind of more complicated software, like 100 features and beyond type of software, there are always gaps. So I saw a gap where, data, that people were pushing that data inside of Go High Level from Google Sheets, kind of like with using Zapier. So I posted, hey, would you guys like a tool that I made that pushes data from Google Sheet into Go High Level without using Zapier? And that's just one API replacing one Zap, right? And I had 700 comments in there. And then I wrote
a blog post about that. Finding a big name software that everybody uses, and then creating making essentially an add-on for it is wild. And the beauty is that it targets your audience perfectly. So let's say that you made a BaseCamp software that somehow added one of the features that BaseCamp didn't add. You could then run Facebook ads targeting the BaseCamp Facebook page, which I'm sure has tons of people, enough people that you can run ads to it. And you have the perfect market, because the only people that would buy your BaseCamp add-on are people that are using BaseCamp, and people that are liking the Facebook page of that company will be pretty targeted. So creating those add-on or symbiotic software solutions is awesome. There's a lot of examples of that if you pay attention. There's like even just things like TubeBuddy is a tool that just makes YouTube better. Lots of cool stuff like that. So I would recommend that if you're using a big software all the time and it's missing a feature or something that, I know some people did that with ClickFunnels. I think some people made the tool that you can basically copy other people's ClickFunnels templates and put them into your own account.
I have one of those tools. I own one.
Is that you? Yeah. So stuff like that. It's like you see a big software and then you just do something that makes it better. We made one extension that I just never promoted it. I don't know why. I get so busy. It was only like $100 to make. It was called Easy Blur. My Chris Grant actually made it. It was my idea. He had it developed and sent it to me, and I just never got to promote it. But basically what it does is it lets you blur out things on your screen during like screen shares. Like this, I could blur out like if I had a picture of like a naked person behind me, I could blur it out. I wouldn't do that, but if I wanted to blur it out, I could. So just stuff like that. Like an add-on, if you created an add-on for Zoom or an add-on for, Grammarly or anything, there's so many cool ideas.
Yeah, and the truth is there are so many free-floating software out there that do have hundreds and thousands of users, and they don't market it at all. Like they just have a free version, and all you need to do is create a paid version because they've already done the marketing for you. They've done the legwork.
Or even take a big software and find one of the features that it does. Like I think a lot of people are like, we want to make a software that does everything so we don't miss a single customer. Like every customer that wants this feature will do that. But it's like, and then they sell it as like a full suite. So it's like, $297 a month for this crazy suite of tools. But what if you only wanted like that one tool? Somebody could come along and make that a la carte, sell it for a fraction of the price, but then they would have a laser focus audience of people that just wanted that one thing. So I've actually had success with that in a couple of softwares. It's basically just narrowing down one big thing into smaller bite-sized Chrome extensions. So hopefully, if anybody takes anything from this, I think about extensions anyway, is start with the less is more, because you can always add features, but once you have a bunch of features, people will be like, "Why did you delete that?" Like, well, you can't. Why would you take away stuff we already paid for?
Yeah. I always tell people, hey, start simple, start small. You don't have to go crazy. And one of the people that came into like the Chrome Boss community that I have, he got 1,000 subscribers, but every single subscriber was paying $97 a month.
Yeah.
That's literally like $97,000 a month income on the side to whatever he's doing. And that is life-changing money for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's a lot of money no matter who you are.
Yeah, no matter who you are.
Yeah.
That's possible.
That's cool.
And
I know.
So I just really it feels like we're still so young, and it's still very young, despite all the other stuff that's happening, all the trend, all the crypto stuff, so many things
Yeah.
that are popping up that can derail our, or pull our attention kind of away.
I
But
think
I'm
we
still
lost
very
we lost a lot of good entrepreneurs to NFTs. A lot of focus has been lost. I hopefully that those are awesome, but I mean, I think that the cost, the attention span cost of NFTs is going to be pretty brutal on a lot of people, especially with things tanking right now and a lot of people panic selling.
Oh
Not
yeah,
today.
things are going down right now. But yeah, definitely. And there is a good there's you see good talent in the VC world, in these bigger companies moving towards that direction. Like
Right.
the CEO, the CFO of this huge company is moving towards crypto. This thing is moving. So there is validity in that movement, but unless you're
Oh, I
like
love crypto. Don't
hardcore,
get me wrong.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I love crypto. But one thing I'm excited about is so I've been into like VR stuff for a long time, and I love the idea of VR, but I own whatever the new VR system comes out, like whatever it is, I buy it, but
Yeah,
I don't really
like
ever
the
use
Oculus
them.
Quest 2.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Oculus. Yeah, so I have them, but I usually my little boys use them. But I can't wait until they make it so that when it gets mass adoption. Like Facebook would be smart to just give them away for free right now because they have more money to be made in people using them than buying them. So they would be smart to just give them away for free. But there will be a whole new world of like Chrome extension type softwares that we will be able to make for the metaverse, and that is very exciting.
yeah, I'm so excited. Ready Player One had this scene where the guy is like, it's called, I forgot his name, but he's like, it's called this, and it will allow you to occupy 80+% of a person's vision without inducing seizure. It just cracked me up. I'm like, oh my
I've
god.
been meaning to watch that. I have not watched that yet.
Oh, it's so good.
Was it
Really
good? Yeah.
good. Oh, it's so good. And you can buy it on YouTube for a couple bucks. I don't know, $14 or something. But it's
Well,
definitely worth.
it wasn't the money that was holding me up. I appreciate that.
No,
It's
I'm
five
just saying it's
dollars.
available on YouTube.
Yeah, okay, I appreciate you looking out. Save me a couple bucks.
But yeah. And oh, if you're into crypto, you guys, Luis Alvarado, who's been teaching people since 2018. He's been financially independent since 2014, and teaching crypto and DeFi for the longest time. He's actually going to be at our event, and he is amazing. So if you guys are coming, he's also there. I'm not filling this event up with a ton of speakers, just making sure that everyone in the room is like rock star people. And that if you were to bump into anyone there, that they have a lot of things, like amazing things going on. So, but the crypto, the DeFi world is really interesting to me. I feel like I always have to set aside time, at least a few hours a week, to not get too far behind in that world.
Yeah, it moves fast.
Yeah, and so. And usually I'm very telescopic. I'm like, I just want to do this one thing and do it well. But okay, I don't see a lot of questions from you guys. You're just like here listening in. I think we're just like talking to each other, which is fine. I really like this format as well. What are the things that, let me see. I'm going to ask you a few questions from like what occupies your day now? Like what's your consumption of media and of just like knowledge, getting more knowledge on what are the challenges now for you?
So it's like a buzzkill answer. I did a video on my,
Okay.
I did a video.
Like,
I did a video on my YouTube a couple weeks ago about how I was reading too much. And I think that there's this diminishing marginal return on reading. And so now actually like I've kind of gone through like it's been like almost a year now where I've tried to only read like at most like one book a month. I'll have one book. I used to read like multiple books a week. I was obsessed, and I was giving them like way too much value. I was thinking like, if I read this book, I was writing it off like as a business task. I was like, man, I'm at the point now where I feel like a lot of the books I'm reading are redundant. I want to write more books now. So I wrote my evergreen affiliate marketing book. I'm working on another book now that I'm super excited about. It's about productivity for solopreneurs. And so I honestly, at this point, most of my stuff is pretty passive. So I'm just working on my blogs. And then really I get to fill my time creating content. I'm at the point where I've always wanted to be at, where I'm creating content that I don't need it to make me money right away. And that is so fun, because then I can actually create content that I like. I recently totally I killed my Entre Resource YouTube channel because it got too broad. Like all the subscribers were from all over the place, like just random niches. So I started doing my evergreen affiliate marketing channel, where I'm just doing affiliate marketing, which is like what I love to talk about most. So I've been doing videos there. I've been working on my book, and I've been all of the like self-education stuff for me at this point has been things like literally like watching the tutorial videos on the software that I use every day. Taking like a Google Analytics certification, just stuff that's really, really applicable and practical. And I kind of have weaned off of reading the like top 10 business books on Amazon like I used to, which are awesome. I think everyone who's like just starting out and getting into entrepreneurship and trying to figure out what they want to do and what their direction is, I think those are so important. Like, I don't think you can consume enough content at that phase, but like at a certain point, I think some of us entrepreneurs have this thing where we're like, we kind of overvalue like reading as opposed to doing. So that's kind of where I've been at with that. It's kind of a buzzkill answer, but because I know entrepreneurs love to read our books, but that's kind of been where I'm at.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you are. I like what is it? You're on Facebook and you're just posting your family and stuff, and you're like, yeah, I know you guys aren't here to consume random pictures of my kids or things like that, but this is what I like. Like, you're very much, you just do what you like, regardless of whatever anyone thinks.
Yeah. So someone asked me that. They're like, are you, I mean, when you become an entrepreneur, I think the worst thing you can do is want to do it just for the money. For me, I was like, I didn't want to have a boss. I didn't want to fire people. I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm kind of more of a solopreneur. I have contractors that work for me and stuff like that, but I don't like the idea of having a big corporation, because like, I want to be able to like every once in a while rant about politics on my Facebook or rant about something. And people are always like, you're going to lose. Isn't that going to cost you money? I'm like, yeah, but like I'm not going to not say these things. You know what I mean? Within reason. Like, there's some things that are just a waste of time, but that's kind of how I've always tried to keep it, where I'm like, I want to be at the point where I can't lose. I don't need to be so desperate that I have to like appease every single person online. So that's where I'm at. It's a fun place to be, because I can just create content. I can be myself. And I think that's way more gratifying, I think, than trying to be Facebook and trying to make everybody happy all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was my brother that just walked by. He's my only employee.
Nice. I mean, it's just, we got into this to work really hard to kind of go back to, for me, I got into this world because after college, I really didn't do anything. And I just kind of freeloaded off of, I had an ex, and he was like, Kim, I'll just buy whatever. You can chill. You don't need to figure this life out. I'll take care of you. And I got sold into that. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to chill. And that's what I did.
That's surprising to me. I would not imagine you ever doing that. You're very much a go-getter now.
Yeah. Now, but back then I was just like, I just want to watch Netflix all day. And I just want to live my life like this. And so that's what I did. And then when the relationship didn't work out and I had to get a job, I was then it was the reality of what a job was that hit me really hard, like a full-time legit job. Like, oh shoot, I have to wake up at a certain time every single day. I have to clock in. I have to do all these things, and it made me. It was that moment I was sitting at my cubicle after getting the job that this can't be for the rest of my life, and I am very surprised that it wasn't like this mass effect of people thinking that way throughout, the entire world or something. Like when they first sit down at their full-time job, and that shocked me. Like, why is this normal? And then that's when I started listening to Smart Passive Income, and I'm like, well, some people figured it out. I gotta figure this out too, and that's what led me into like working so hard to get back to a life where I can just relax if I want to. So absolutely. You guys are laughing. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's great. Entrepreneurship changes you. I mean, I feel like a lot of people that we would like label as lazy aren't lazy at all. I just think that they're in jobs that don't interest them, don't excite them. And there's a lot of people I'm like, I don't blame you for like not putting in the effort. And if you aren't super happy with what you're doing. I think a lot of people just haven't gotten to the point where they find something that they feel is worth their effort and worth their time. That's what I love about entrepreneurship. That's what got me starting talking about it, blogging about it, was that I feel like it changes me. I saw how it changed, like how I saw myself. Like I always worked hard, but I never really saw myself as like someone who could make money on his own. I never really pictured that. And once I figured out I could do it, I was like, holy crap, I could do this, and I could keep doing it, and I could scale it. And that excites me, because to be able to share that with other people is extremely gratifying. I know a lot of people think that the only way to make money online is to teach people how to make money online. But the thing is that when you've done it, it's so hard to not tell everybody about it, because it's like the most rewarding thing in your life. Like, you're going to talk about it. And that's part of one of the reasons why I love blogging about it so much.
I met a dude the other day that's like, all the Thai Lopez, they're all scams. Like, they rent all their stuff. They did, like totally.
The word scam. The word scam is so overused. A lot of the stuff is crap and is gimmicky and like unethical marketing, but like scam, like when I think of scam, I think of like you made me Venmo you money, telling me that you had, you like, that's a scam. Nigerian prince, needing you to Western Union him $5,000. He's going to pay you back tomorrow. That's a scam. But like somebody selling you a course for $100 on crypto, like, that's not a scam. It's just maybe a bad course and good marketing. And they, unfortunately, good marketing can sell bad products, unfortunately. So it's kind of
I totally agree with you in it's who do you get to become on this journey that is the real, like, it's one of the things that it's the reason why we speak so loud, that we talk about making money, because we see the change in ourselves, the people we can impact, and we do witness people who've been in jobs for 10 years, and it's not like they have 10 years of experience, as they lived the same year every single day of their life for 10 years. And and it isn't like, oh, you spent 10 years in this and you don't know if this is what you're not happy. And and the reality is, oh, that's the case. They lived the same life for 10 years straight. And if you can, and it feels like you have a solution to that, a solution to have a life where they're invigorated, there's meaning, there's so many things, and it allows for that environment that you're like, I could save you, but at the same time, will fight hard to not be.
Yeah, like I said, like I can't, like people, like your work and your money aren't everything, but if you get those things right, that other stuff is, you have more time to handle that other harder stuff that I can't help you with. You know what I mean? Like if you, like, it sucks when like you have when you have a bad relationship like with your spouse, and it's a lot easier to take care of that if you don't have to worry about the money, or it's a lot easier to be a better dad when you come home from work that you love. If you come home, if you've been working at a job that you hate, then you got to go be with your kids, and you're like, you're not going to be the best you can. So I always felt that I'm like, I can't help people in those other ways because I'm not a psychiatrist, a psychologist, or a marriage counselor, but I can help you make money, and then you can maybe use that money to hire one of those people to help you out.
Oh my gosh, that's so true. That is so true. Give you the resources so that the professionals can handle the other aspects, but at least you have the resources to be able to do that. And with that said, we are going to wrap this up. Robin says, great call. Gotta go. My launch next week is calling. Awesome. Robin is one of our clients. She's like doing her launch into her Facebook group. Nice. And also Michael, and a lot of people are showing up today, or just our clients. But okay, guys. So Nate, so excited to have you coming to our event. And where can they? I usually wrap up the interview with like, where can they find you? And what's the easiest way to get a hold of you, and all the things. So.
So my main website is entrepreneurship.com, which in hindsight was a terrible domain name because I have to spell it out every time I talk about it. But it is entre, like entrepreneur, and then resource, like resources, .com. I'm really easy to get a hold of. If you join my mailing list on that website, or anything that, if you're on my mailing list, if you reply to my emails, I reply always. I check all my own emails. Don't do all the support emails, but like personal emails from my email broadcast I reply to. So if you want to reach out to me like that, you can. entrepreneurship.com. We'll do a link somewhere there.
I'll link it.
And also, if you are interested in affiliate marketing, we didn't talk about it at all, but affiliate marketing is really one of my biggest sources of income. I do have my book on Amazon. Evergreen Affiliate Marketing. You can get it on Kindle, print, or Audible. I'm going to redo the Audible version. I've been getting feedback. People said that the guy's voice does not sound like me at all. And I wasn't trying to make it sound like me, but the feedback on the guy's voice, thank you. Whoever posted that, thank you.
Glenn.
Thank you, Glenn. It just says Facebook user on my end.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, thank you so much. You can check me out on YouTube as well. Right now, my big channel is Evergreen Affiliate Marketing. Like I said, I retired the Entre Resource channel. So I've got that brand new Evergreen Affiliate Marketing, and I'll see you guys, hopefully a lot of you, in Orlando.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
And if you're going to Orlando, don't buy a copy. I'm going to bring you a copy for free to the event.
Yes.
I'm gonna shoot them out of the t-shirt gun.
We have a pool, so you can shoot over the pool. Just kidding. I don't know.
See, I'm from Ohio, so going to Orlando is like, it's like keeping me going right now. It's like 12 degrees here. No, it's
oh my God, the weather here is amazing. Blue skies, amazing.
What part do you live in? You don't live in Orlando though, right?
I live in Miami right now.
Oh,
and
you do?
I've been here for 3 weeks. I moved here to check it out.
Weren't you in California before?
Yeah, I was in California.
Yeah. So are we in the same time zone? No. Are we in the same time zone?
Wait, no. I'm on Eastern. Are you Eastern?
Yeah, I'm on Eastern. Welcome to the Eastern time zone. Nice to have you. Yeah.
I'm in my final form of time zone.
I've always wanted to live in Miami. I think I'm stuck here in Ohio for a while, but someday.
Well, you have to move your whole family over.
Yeah. I heard you guys don't have COVID down there. Is that true?
The COVID restrictions is very low. And I traveled all throughout the pandemic, and Miami has clubs bumping, and just like,
everything's pretty much that way here. Yeah. My son my son just got over COVID. He had it for like 10 days. He kept testing positive. And yeah, it's back to school today.
Nice. Back to school. Bill says super interview. Thanks, Bill. All right, you guys, this is the end of our interview. Go get Nate's book. His blog is entreresource.com. And I'll see you guys in Orlando. We have crazy people coming who are really into affiliate marketing. We have Christine Seal. She bought a ticket. She makes over $60,000 a month on affiliate marketing, passive income. So she's gonna be there, and I think she'll meet you, and you guys will have a lot to talk about. But it's really cool. We have crazy people coming, and it's gonna be a fun experience. I'm excited. All right, cool. Thanks, Nate. I'm gonna click. What is it? I'm gonna click remove so that you're in the green room, and then I'll just show them like the location right after this. And thank you so much. All right.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Bye. Bye, everyone. All right, cool. That was Nate. And just so you guys know, let me share my screen here. Let's see. Kick. All right. So let me share my screen. So this is where the event will be at here. It's in Orlando, Florida. I rented out a $3 million mansion, and it's really big. It looks like this. We have a pool in the background, in the backyard. We have theater rooms. You can actually stay there, but we only have one room left if you want to stay there. Just hashtag mansion and drop it in the comments. If you want to attend, you can attend. And it's March 3rd to the 6th in Orlando. We have Nate who's speaking, and then also Luis Alvarado as well. And you will be able to meet really amazing entrepreneurs there that are doing 6 to 7 to 8 to even 9 figures there. You get a roadmap on what group monetization experts are doing today. You get the playbook on how a simple software can get you high ticket clients and passive recurring income for life. And not only will you learn how to make money during a time where people are closing the doors, but you'll also learn how to keep your money. You'll learn how to get access to hundreds of thousands of dollars of funding at 0% interest rates. And watch us break down our hiring process for building out a scalable team for your Facebook group. There's professionally catered and healthy breakfast and lunch both Friday and Saturday. The bonus are video recordings of the entire event so you can replay this epic weekend over and over again. And also breakout sessions for certain lessons with our experienced coaches. VIP upgrades are available after you submit your order to getting a ticket. And I'm just gonna play this.
This whole experience has been absolutely life-changing.
Just being able to connect with so many different people, that was awesome.
Everybody wants a little piece of the cake.
I created this event because live events changed my life.
Time to throw it down and show me what you got. If you think you're so.
She's a wonderful person online, even a nicer person when you get to meet her.
We're not normal. We're weird. And we're extraordinarily qualified to help and transform people's lives.
She's exactly who you see online. She really cares about the people who are here.
Yeah, show me what you got. If you think you're so high, wanna make it to the top. You gotta hang with the big shots. Yeah, show me what you got.
You're having these mind-blowing conversations with these amazing entrepreneurs, and every single moment of this retreat has just been life-changing.
Kim is really inspiring to me because she cares so much. Like, you can see her she's just really available for people, and a lot of coaches, especially at events, she genuinely cares.
To be in an environment of like-minded people that share the similar energy as I do, and being able to talk with other business folks in a really fun environment and just learn and grow together.
She's like this little badass all by herself, but she's got these powerhouse people who are also equally invested in their people's success. And the mastermind was awesome by itself. And of course, that all led to me joining the inner circle. You get how warm she is. She knows everybody's first and last name. She knows where they are in their business. And it's clear that she is deeply committed to her clients' results. She just wants the world for her people. And that really comes through.
To be able to network with the people who are surrounding you in your space that are a little bit higher level, just going, okay, I didn't think about that. That was kind of nice to see.
I thought it was going to be more like a seminar. Like there was also a lot of like actionable items that we were taking that we implemented, and I was able to close deals, and it was amazing.
Coming here, I met like amazing people who are further than I've been, who've given me like super pointed advice, and they're also willing to help.
I think I got a lot more than I asked for because it really brought together a community of people who are like-minded, which was, for me, amazing to network with such high-level people.
She brings a lot of value. Her team is absolutely incredible. Every single person that I had a conversation with was extremely valuable, and so you can just tell the type of people that she attracts to her events.
And I always feel like when you're with people of a similar mindset, you're going to learn a lot more, and that's really what happened for me this weekend.
I would say if you're a beginning entrepreneur, you should be here. If you come here, you get all the knowledge, and it's just, to me, it's amazing.
Yeah, if you're a coach, I would recommend this event because it goes over like high ticket sales, creating your value ladder, how to automate your business. You're kind of like, you're bulletproofing your business.
No matter what stage you're at, you will benefit from attending one of these events.
I really hope anyone can take advantage of this. Any entrepreneur, inspiring entrepreneur, anyone that can that wants to make their dreams come true and take their business to the next level, I think they should be all here.
The offer here is that you're connected to a team that's basically turnkey. Once you tap into this turnkey system, it's going to help your business grow to the next level, no matter where you're at.
All right. So I'll see you guys in Orlando if you want to still grab a ticket. We only have one room left in the mansion, and we'll probably sell all the tickets by the end of this month. So let me know, #mastermind. And what we do is we actually jump on a 10 to 15 minute phone call with you just to make sure that it's the right fit for you to come here. And that it makes sense for your time as well, okay? All right, you guys, I will see you in the 5-day training happening on Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm really excited. There's going to be, I think, around 350 people attending this training that's upcoming, and it's going to be a blast, as always. So I'll see you guys in the free training. If you're not part of the free training waitlist yet, then #5-day free training. And it's to help you automate and monetize your Facebook group in as little as 5 days. If you're interested in the #masterclass, type hashtag below, and we'll give you the link to the access. So, all right, have a wonderful rest of your day, and see you guys in the next video.
Oh yeah, if you like that video, then you will love all the resources that I have over at kimcdang.com. That is KIMCDANG.com. There you will find all my courses, my extensions, all the offers that I have, as well as a lot of free resources if you are just getting started.